Let's go over some of the other features that the coursebook system has that you should be aware of. I'll start on the home page here. The home page is my attempt to congregate all the information that's most necessary for you to have in front of your face every time you open the coursebook application. Probably what goes on here and how this is laid out will change over time since this is a work in progress. But what we have right now is announcements, any open help requests that you've made, and you can view the entire help request. Now I'll be going over help requests in a moment, so don't worry if you don't really understand what a help request is yet, but know that all of your open help requests are on this home page, and if they have a last post more than 36 hours ago, they're now in front of my attention, and I'll make sure that they get resolved. Closed help requests and notes that you've taken are also on this homepage, as well as some quick links to whatever it is that I think you should have a quick link to, including whatever the last page was that you visited. And so that's very convenient for us to click on now. That's the home page. You'll see it congregate all the information that's most necessary for you to have in front of your face when you open the application. The How Am I Doing area, which is got from the Content tab. Click How Am I Doing? And you'll see a summary of all of the scoring that's happened so far in your application. So since nothing much has happened for this user, there's not a whole lot on this screen. You should see this screen aggregate all of your information as you go further and further into the worksheet. Things really aren't, well, for sure, scores are not tallied until until topics and exercises, etc., become due. So right now, nothing has become due. That's why there's nothing on the screen. But once the first deadline is passed, the points available will update to be all of the points that are available in the projects, exercises, and topics that are finished. The points that you earned, however many bumps you've gotten, and this guy has been great. He's already, the course hasn't even started, he's already gotten 18 points in bumps. I'll talk about bumps in a little bit. And then your total score, and then the percentage. That's the total score divided by the total points available. And of course, since there are no total points available right now, none of this stuff is filled in. And in addition, all the topics completed, a breakdown of the points you've gotten on all the topics that have been completed, all the exercises that have completed, and all the steps on all of the projects that you've been working on that are completed. So this How Am I Doing screen over the course of the quarter will update to show you exactly where you stand in the course, and you can refer to this as you need to. So that's How Am I Doing. Let's go back and look at bumps. Let me talk about bumps. Bumps are a methodology I have for accounting for all of the things that ought to be point-bearing, that ought to affect your overall score, that aren't asked in questions. So for example, if we're talking and you make some extremely astute comment, I might bump you just for the fact that you said something that I thought was really smart and really to the point. More often you'll get a bump because you, for example, find a typo on a page, you log a bug against the application. All of those things where you find my problems are all worth points to you. So keep your eye out for those things, and I'll talk about that under bugs, how you actually log what you find. If you help somebody else in the class, that's going to be worth points, and you'll see that when we talk about the help system, that they have the ability to bump you at the end of the help request and give you points for how much you've helped them. Other than that, anything else can count as a bump. Anything that shows that you've done extra work. The bumps are the way that I account for things that can't be accounted for by the simple mechanical scoring of the application. And so anything could potentially count as bumps, but really the big things are bugs that you log, help that you give to other people, and any extra astuteness that you show in the class based on things other than answering the questions. You can always keep up with your bumps just by going to the My Bumps tab, and it'll show you all of your bump requests. So you'll see the column here that says, yes, this bump was approved, that one was approved, here's what they were approved for. This bump over here is pending. Notice the score is in gray instead of in black. The pending bumps I haven't reviewed yet. Of the bumps that this person has applied for, they've gotten 18, and there's actually 7.4 points pending, and when I come into the application and I look at all the bumps, I'll decide whether those bumps should be approved or disapproved. Then in addition, you may have requested bumps for other people because you think they did something meritorious. Either they helped you they gave you help inside the application, maybe they gave you help outside the application. At any rate, the only thing you need to know in order to offer someone a bump, and by the way, I review all of these bumps, they're not immediately approved. The only thing you really need to know is their user ID. Get their user ID, put it in this space, tell me the reason, tell me how many points you requested for them, hit the submit button, and then a request, including a bump for yourself, by the way, which is a valid thing to ask for, are requested right through this little area here. So give me a good reason, give me the number of points you believe it's worth, tell me the name of the person you're bumping, including yourself, by typing in their user ID, hit submit, and then you'll see that your bump request will be logged under here, bumps you've requested for others, or actually if it's a bump you've requested for yourself, it'll show up here. I'll review them, and more likely than not, you'll get some extra points in the course, and those points count in addition to all of the points that you've gotten on the questions that you've answered. So that's bumps. Let's talk about help. On any topic page, we're on a topic page right now, or on any exercise page, or on any step of any project, you always have this navigation up here. And the navigation points to bugs and helps and notes. It'll tell you how many pending helps there are against this particular topic. So for example, right now there are no helps, there's a 0 in there, pending from any student across all of the different options for this course. There are no helps pending for this topic called other coursebook features. So let's make one pending. So I'm going to have a help request, and I don't understand, or I can't quite figure out, how to use the notes feature, and you submit that. And now you have created a help request. And why do we go back to bumps? I don't know. Now you've created a help request, and notice that there's now a 1 under help. Notice that you are a requester, and there are so far no resolvers. A resolver is someone who comes in and decides that they can help you do that. And so let's now imagine that I've come in from somewhere else. I see that there's a help request on this page. I'm no longer Bob, I'm somebody else, but let's just imagine that that's happening. And I say, oh, I can resolve this for them. I can help them out. And I say click add to the resolution, and I can either post my resolution inside this post, which means it'll be indented under this one, or if there's more than one, I can post it outside that post. So we'll talk more about that later. Okay, so now I'm going to resolve it, and I say just click the help tab. Okay, that's not a very good resolution. However, I've tried to add to the scenario. Obviously, you'll have more specific questions, and obviously the resolvers will want to answer just as in as much detail as you need. Now, if you want to take it offline and say, please email me or give me a call or something like that, and let's discuss it offline, don't feel like you have to create the entire discussion inside of here. But other people are going to come along, and they're going to look at the help requests that you've logged, because likely they'll have the same help request, and they can latch on to those help requests. They can say, I'm a requester as well on this help request. And that actually adds to the potential points that a resolver can get for helping to resolve the request. So I'm now a resolver, and